Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be looking at some r/AmITheDevil. If you would like to sit here and decide whether Reddit has judged these people as the devil correctly today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. Okay, starting off with Am I the Butthole for being overly accommodating to my new co-worker? Hello, Am I the Butthole? This is my first Reddit post, so bear with me. I, 26M, am currently a UX designer for and I have a meeting tomorrow with HR that seems serious, and I am incredibly nervous about it. I'm looking to ease my anxiety. Bit bold to share where you work and what you are in that position, but okay. We recently had a new project manager join my vertical. She is a Kenyan immigrant in her early 40s. She is great. She is unproblematic, quiet, and professional, which has made her a great addition to the team. Initially, her and I were in good graces, but it seems that she has filed some kind of report about me to HR, which we will be discussing in the previously mentioned meeting tomorrow. I can't put my finger quite on why, but the way he described her just now sits with me a bit weirdly. And I don't know why. I feel like unproblematic, quiet. It's like, basically, yeah, I like this one because she does what I tell her to. I like that she's beneath me. I don't like that. It's giving me the ick, and I don't know why. I don't know if I'm justified to think like that. Tell me what you think. I have been very kind to her and done a lot to try to contribute to a comfortable environment for her. I ask her how she is doing every day, and I constantly ask her if she needs any help. When I talk to her, I try to match her accent and nomenclature so she has a better understanding of what I'm saying. Oh my life. What? I walk by her desk pretty often throughout the day, and I always make it a point to make appropriate small talk with her. As time went on, her responses have gotten shorter and shorter. Yeah, no shite, Sherlock. She probably thinks you're taking the mick out of her. What are you doing? In order to be more accommodating, I have asked her questions that are more inquisitive about her as a person. I read a book recently called How to Make Friends and Influence People. I don't think you read it properly. And it talked about how people enjoy talking about themselves and that you should listen more than you talk. So I've asked her questions about herself, like what part of Kenya and tribe she is from. What does she like about the city? If she has any kids, where I can get the best fufu, and if she likes soccer or any other sports. Okay, let me just pause right here, okay? But I feel like saying to somebody, a person of colour, what tribe are you from? Has really racist undertones. And especially with the mocking her accent as well. What the hell? Even with all this courtesy and accommodation, she has still been becoming disengaging with my inquiries and almost standoffish. I'm not surprised. There have been no real verbal conflicts between her and I, and this has kind of caught me off guard. I think that there is a good chance that she is just very introverted and is bothered by my extroverted nature, which I am happy to tone down for her. I'm having trouble sleeping over this and would really like to know if I'm the butthole. That's so creepy, racist, mocking her accent, basically only ever talking to her about things about Kenya when she is a whole ass person and where they're from is just part of that. Do you know what I mean? He's taken no interest in anything else whatsoever other than mocking her accent and asking her questions about Kenya. Oh, so we have an update from this dude. Hello Reddit, contrary to what all of you have liked, my meeting with HR went pretty well. The woman had made a complaint to HR saying that she felt overwhelmed by my inquiries. After being transparent about my intentions of creating a comfortable environment for the new employee, HR understood where I was coming from. I am disappointed in HR. They also agreed that her actions show that she will have trouble assimilating into our office culture. What? Given this, they politely asked me to step back from approaching her to maintain the peace, which I will do. I am fuming that they have not called him up on the whole mocking her accent or any of that stuff. Like, what? I mean, I'm not surprised though, to be quite honest. It's sad that this is how things have to be anymore. You can no longer be the nice guy in this hostile world, and it really makes me concerned for future generations. Will all humans have barriers in between them built by new technology? Leftist... Oh, there we go. Leftist virtue weaponization. So yes, a big hint on where this person leans. No wonder they are so friggin' clueless. And fear of an unpopular perception. Will people continue to follow the moral compass of services like Reddit and not their own? Will people always claw and desperately grasp at the chance to have a perceived moral high ground, blinded by the simple objectivity of anyone who's truly harmed or not? Will the blindness prevent us from seeing what a privilege it is to have a discourse, this minuet be worth of our emotional expenditure and time? See, this is how you know. This is how you know they're an idiot, because they throw in lots of flowery words to make their point, to try and basically dance around it in the hopes that you don't realize that they're spouting bollocks. That's what they do. I don't know the answers to any of these questions, and it truly scares me. I don't think you know the answers to much, my love. Actually, not my love. Eat shit. So down in the comments, the OP that actually shared this to Am I the Devil says, at first, I thought it wasn't so bad. But the more I read, the worse it got. Oh, did it? Oh, yes. Ask how she's doing, totally normal coworker question. Constantly ask if she needs help, maybe too pushy, maybe just over-friendly, hard to say. Walks by her desk often throughout the day and chit-chats with her. Okay, now we're getting into a realm of annoying behaviour. When talking with her, matches her accent and nomenclature. Oh no, no OOP. Asked what tribe she is from. This is the bit that really made me have to sit back for a second and pause and be like, what the actual frig? No. Asked where the OP can get the best fufu, a West African dish most commonly found in Ghana. Kenya is, in fact, not a part of West Africa. Dig up, stupid. Literally, what? So not only is he being racially and culturally insensitive, he's not even getting it correct. And then ZapperGirl02 says, the constantly asking if she needs help could definitely come across that he doesn't think that she, older female immigrant person of colour, doesn't know how to do her job or is not competent. That is what bothered me, I think, at the start, where he said about her being like quiet, polite, basically unintrusive. I felt like he was basically trying to minimalize her as a person due to her immigration status and the colour of her skin, basically. I think that's what bothered me about the way he said it. My goodness, and I am so disappointed in HR. So friggin' disappointed, because I'll bet you any money she didn't say to HR, oh, it's just been a bit intrusive. I will bet she gave a good list of what was going on and they went, it's not that bad. Probably because HR does it too. So, next post, my F29 boyfriend's M23 ex F33 keeps trying to win him back from me and tries to contact him even after their daughter passed away. How do I put an end to her trying to ruin this for me? I fear I'm going to have a headache after I've recorded this one, you know? Between that last post and what I think this post is going to entail, I foresee a headache. Boyfriend and I have been together for a year and we've been living together for 6 months. I'm very much in love and this is who I want to settle down with. The only problem is his overly jealous ex. He dated her a while back and they had a 3-year-old daughter together who passed away a couple of weeks ago. She had some health complications ever since she was born and it has been tough on my boyfriend, mentally and emotionally. His ex always had the excuse of their daughter to try and talk to him or contact him in the middle of the night. What do you mean excuse? They have a kid together. Of course they're going to have contact. Already I can tell that you are the most fucking brain dead idiot I've ever seen. I have tried my best to be here for him emotionally, but I know the pain he is going through won't just go away. The problem is his ex is using this situation to try and win him back over again. I've looked through his phone and have seen how much she blows his phone up and how she has told him that she regrets her decision and wants things to be how they used to be with him. Yeah, fair enough, that's not really something that you should be texting someone who is in a relationship, but she's grieving. She is all over the place. She calls him at 1 or 2 in the morning, crying on the phone to get his attention. She tells him she needs him and has asked him to go, and it is just getting out of hand. She has nothing left to talk about with him anymore. Their daughter is gone, so she has no reason to keep talking to him. You are disgusting. How do I completely put an end to this? The last time I blocked her on his phone, she got another phone to try and contact him. She's trying to lean on the only other person in this existence who knows what she's going through. Those are the only two people that ever would have had a connection with their daughter like they did. They are the only two people that would have connected with that one particular child in that way. So she has nobody else in this entire world that understands what she's going through. Yes, there are other people that have gone through the same, but they don't know her daughter. He did. She needs help. She needs compassion. She needs, obviously she needs to know that she can't be saying, oh, I would like us to go back to how we were. I regret my decision, because you guys are in a relationship now. But cutting her off is a horrible thing to do, because, yeah, of course, she's going to want to lean on the only other person who understands how she feels. So, down in the comments, Affectionate Bench 766 says, my husband and his ex-wife had a little girl. She died very young from a genetic disorder. Their marriage didn't survive. It was over 30 years ago. Sometimes she calls to talk about their daughter. Sometimes it's 11 p.m. when she's had a few too many. Sometimes he calls her. They visit her grave together on her birthday. She was their child. It's the only time they have together as a family. I believe somewhere in another multiverse or timeline, they're happily married with an adult daughter, alive and thriving, and he's never met me. The three of them deserve that. Oh, Affectionate Bench, right in the feels. Why would you do that? Why would you do that to us? The void isn't crying, you are. Edited to add, I appreciate all the comments and compliments, but please no, I'm not a great person. I'm definitely petty about dumb crap and snarky as F. My foster mum taught me love is infinite. She healed me with love, taught me it's never wasted, and to give it brings back more. I've been so lucky to have my foster mum and my biological mum, my sister and brother, later my kids and my husband in my life. And then Cantantelope says, people who can't stand that making a whole ass human together ties people together even once the relationship is over should just not date parents. Just don't do it. It's not hard. Honestly, I am just disgusted. Between the last post and this post, my faith in humanity is dwindling further than it already had. And then Affectionate Bench just swooping on in there to kick us in the fanny when we're down. Oh my god. Okay, I don't think it's getting any better. I apologise. Server spilled coffee and burnt my baby this weekend. So this weekend we were driving down Tennessee to spend a nice relaxing weekend at a cabin. I have an 11-month-old baby girl who is just able to sit in a high chair. We stopped at a well-known sit-down chain restaurant. After getting settled and being handed at least 6 menus between the 4 of us, we started to figure out what we wanted. Well, my husband ordered coffee and the server decided to try to pour it in front of my daughter and then hand it to my husband. It was like watching something in slow motion. Her fingers grabbed the porcelain coffee cup and it immediately spilled all over her. I stood up, ripped her onesie off her and ran outside to my van. I quickly took baby wipes, dipped them in my water I had and started draping her in cooled baby wipes. I then ripped her diaper off and just held my burnt daughter against my chest with both of us sobbing in the parking lot. No one came out to check. The server saw it. The lady near us saw it. The server even said, "Let me get you napkins," like that would help. Eventually, my husband came out and said he asked for Neosporin and no one knew what that was. I just sat inside my van holding my burnt baby covered in water-soaked wet wipes. Finally, the manager came out with some lidocaine spray and basically said sorry. Needless to say, my daughter now has second-degree burns on her wrist and thigh. I think I minimised the damage done because I covered her in antibacterial Vaseline and cold wet wipes for the next several hours. I'm now nursing her burns as best as I can. I took her to an urgent care a little ways outside of the location where the incident happened. The nurses were awesome at the urgent care. They were so sweet with my baby daughter. They wrapped her wrist and thigh in this pink tape, and that made me cry because it was so sweet. The nurses were so caring and understanding. They handled my baby with such care. I am just heartbroken. I'm so careful and diligent with both my kids. I just keep replaying the scenario in my head over and over. I don't know why I'm making this post. I'm just sad that I can't get past it. Edit, server should have taken the extra steps to put the cup in front of husband who ordered the coffee. The fact that it was close enough for my baby to reach it shows the negligence of the server. I feel This one doesn't belong in Am I the Devil, and let me tell you why. I think the OP is correct there. It shouldn't have been put close enough in a baby's reach. It should have been put next to the husband. However, I also do think that the OP's in the wrong too, because the OP, seeing that they were about to pour hot coffee, could have said, wait a minute, let me make sure that, can you just pour that out of reach? Or wait a minute, let me just turn my daughter away so that she can't grab it. I think it's just one of those unfortunate accidents where everybody's not quite paying attention properly and it happens, but the OP's really mad and wants someone to blame, which is understandable because you are very shocked when things like that happen to your kid and you do kind of want someone to blame. Sometimes though, accidents happen and they are unavoidable. Okay, it's 2 days later Void here coming at you, commenting on this, because I actually realised I missed a lot in this post, and I'm going to come back, I'm going to leave what I said before so that you can see what I missed, and I'm going to come back and correct myself. Essentially, and I hope you can't hear that bus going past outside my house right now, essentially, I was doing the dishes last night. And I have my YouTube just kind of playing whatever. I'm watching videos, and I don't tend to watch other Redditors' videos because I don't want to accidentally copy them, if that makes sense. Like accidentally start emulating their opinions, because quite often, you know, you end up covering the same stories. And I also don't want to listen to the same story that I've already read all over again. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, I was stood there doing the dishes, and a video by Oz's Vault come on, and he read this exact same story. And as I'm listening, I'm thinking, oh my God, I missed so much in this story. I was so focused on, did the server spill the coffee or not, that I missed the point where the OP was the devil. So I was concentrating on the semantics of, was it spilled or not? Was it the server's fault or not? Completely missing the point of, and like he quite rightly pointed out, the OP went to a hospital that was not the closest hospital, took the baby outside and didn't run the baby under cold water, or lukewarm water, I think is the way to do it to avoid shock. So yeah, even though they obviously, whether the coffee was spilled on purpose or whether the coffee was too close, I still think the coffee shouldn't have been poured close enough to a baby to grab it. I still do think that. So the server did F up there. They didn't purposefully spill it, but they shouldn't have put it so close. And obviously I still think that the OP was in the wrong for not just watching what their kid was doing in the first place. So I still think that. However, I just obviously, when I was reading it, wasn't registering what I was reading properly. So I'm going to leave that in because I think it goes to show that sometimes when you're listening to my opinion, take it with a pinch of salt. My opinion is not going to be the be all and end all. You guys might have a differing opinion to me, and you might want to tell me that in the comments below, because I may well have missed something or read something and just not really properly registered what I read. In my defense, it was midnight. And I don't get to lie in, you know, having a child. Lions aren't a thing. So yeah, I didn't register that. And also, I think I completely skipped over this part. I think I must have just not read the words properly, because I am certain, and when I go back, I haven't actually edited yet, but I've come on to just correct this bit. When I go back, I'll see whether I did actually read these words and just not register them, or whether I skipped over the words entirely. The OP put Vaseline on a child with burns. Anything oily, anything that is an oily consistency should not ever go on burns. Don't do that. That is really silly. Anything oily, emollient based, don't put it on a burn. Take them to the hospital, get proper products that are meant for severe burns. Don't ever put anything on it at home, because you will likely be making it worse. And running under cold water obviously is the way to do it. But yeah, I thought it'd be interesting to just pop back in and put that in there. And also, I didn't even see any of the issues that were highlighted from the comments in Oz's Vaults video, because I read a completely different part of the comment section that was talking about, obviously, the bit that I was more focused on, whether the coffee was too hot and whether it was poured too close. So I completely missed that, but I thought it was interesting because, like I say, normally I completely avoid listening to videos that are covering the same topics as I am. So I avoid Reddit reading videos completely if I can. But yeah, it was quite an interesting thing for me because it showed how there can be such a difference in how somebody actually even reads and registers what they're reading. So yeah, thought that was interesting. And I was definitely wrong on this one. 100%. Because, yeah, now I see why this was in Am I the Devil? Okay, so I think that's where we're going to leave it today. The first two posts that have got me feeling the need to stare at a wall for half an hour and just be in silence. Stone cold silence. Oh my goodness. The first got me heated, the second got me sad. I don't like feeling emotions, thank you. I would rather not. But yeah, if you made it all the way to the end with me today through this emotional roller coaster, then I am very, very grateful and I'm glad you stuck around. If you give a little like, subscribe, turn your notifications on, I'd appreciate you even more. Other than that, whatever it is you're doing for the rest of the day, I hope you have a really good rest of your day. Goodbye.